name is John Hegarty. I am, first generation from Republic of Ireland, which is the unoccupied part of Ireland, County Donegal, up in the north west corner of Ireland. We went back to Ireland when I was 9, and we lived with my grandmother for 6 months or so. And in my grandmother's home was my grandmother, 2 uncles, an aunt, and 1 grand uncle. And then we moved into our own house. There's 6 in my family, 5 boys and 1 girl, and we lived in a place called Largy Moor, Killicar House. When we first moved there was an outside toilet, there was no electricity, there was a well outside, so we had running water outside. So it was pretty rural, I would say. Well, my father worked outside the home. For quite a bit of the time he was here in the United States and traveled back and forth, and my mother was strictly at home and did all of the rearing of the children. We didn't have a farm ourselves, but my uncles and aunts did have farms, and summertime I stayed up there and helped with the cows and the sheep, a lot of sheep where I'm from. So the daily routine was going to school, come home, do your homework, kind of like everybody here. But when we were on the farm, we had to get up and milk the cows and stuff like that. But on Sundays, at that time, the whole family went to Mass together. We often went to benediction on a Sunday evening. That was we very often did that. And every Sunday we definitely sat down at more of an extended family. Normally at our house, my grandmother would come out, my aunts and uncles, and then we would all share a Sunday meal. So memories are good, very good memories of that time. So they are here. St. Patrick's Day was a very important day. More of a holy day than what we do here is more. Here is more, I believe, St. Patrick's Day is more about the culture and the link to the past, whereas when you're in Ireland, it's more of a holy day, celebrating St. Patrick, bringing Catholicism, Christianity to Ireland. One of the things that really stands out to me is funerals in Ireland. And at that time, they used to have the remains stay in the house for 2 days, and that's called the wake. And then they would bring the remains to the church and Mass, and then the neighbors would dig the graves, because you didn't want the family, have to dig the graves. And then at the end of Mass, the graveyard from our church is about half a mile to 3/4 of a mile away, and neighbors and friends would carry the casket to the graveyard, and when they get close to the graveyard, the closer neighbors and family would carry the casket up on the shoulders to the grave. And that's something that, as a young child, the reverence and the honor that was shown was something I remember and appreciate. Fest. What I remember and miss is what they used to call the big nights, and people would come into houses and sing and play all kind of instruments and had that real community. And in a big city, it's harder to have that, but they do try to keep the music alive and the dance, and that's the kind of thing I would like to see a lot more of.